What's going on, everybody? I'm Adam Washington. Um, I own Washington Boxing Academy, and I've been boxing for my entire life. My father started me in martial arts when I was 4 years old in Kempo Karate. Um, he has four black belts, and he was just passing on his love for the art and the skills that he learned, and he felt that by sharing them with me would help me to become a stronger individual and teach me the disciplines that I needed when I was growing through life. And he was right. So my journey started a long time ago, like I said, in Kempo Karate. And then as I progressed in that art, I went into full contact kickboxing, which was a little more in depth. And I just grew from there. I won 3 national kickboxing tournaments from the age of 14 to 17. My father told me that I was the best in the country, and I wasn't sure that he was right. So he said, "I'll prove it to you." And myself and my best friend, Alejandro, he said, "I'm going to prove it to you guys because I'm going to enter you into this national tournament, and we'll see where you fare in the country in Bondo, which was the art that we were in at the time." So at the age of 14, we entered this tournament, and I ended up being matched against a guy that was 17 years old who was laughing at me at the time because I was just younger and smaller. And I beat him. And the following year, I beat somebody else that was 25. And then one more time the next year, I won again. So I had 3 national tournaments, and I had some knee surgeries after that. And my father said to me, "You got really good hands, boy. Why don't you box instead of kickboxing?" And that was kind of the beginning of my boxing career without the kicking, without the karate. At the age of 16 or 17 years old, I started to fight. Went into silver gloves, had my first boxing match against a guy named Rydell Booker. He was 56 and like 6 at the time. It was my first boxing match. Back then, things were a lot different. The rules were a little different. And in silver gloves, the age mattered more than the experience. So I got thrown in there with somebody that had a lot of experience and learned that boxing was a little bit different than the martial arts, as opposed to kickboxing and the distance. There were a lot of different variables between boxing and the martial arts. And by transitioning and learning the difference in that journey, taught me a lot, taught me how to overcome some adversity. And I lost my first several bouts. And rather than hanging up the gloves, I dug in a little deeper. And I think in my 5th fight, I think I lost my first 4. In my 5th fight, I won. And that was a whole nother feeling. So that sparked where I wanted to go with boxing. I just wanted to feel like a winner all the time. And I continued to box. I got awarded a boxing scholarship from USA Amateur Boxing, and that sent me to Westchester and University and Temple University. And then I had one more injury with my knee that completely stopped me from boxing. You can't run, you can't box. So I couldn't train the way that I needed to be the champion that I was destined to be, I thought. And I had to give boxing up for a while and change everything. That was the first time the rug was pulled out from under my feet. Like I say, boxing and life are synonymous. So you're going to get knocked down. You need to get back up. It was hard. It was hard to reinvent myself. I've reinvented myself several times through life. I'm 43 years old. I'm a realtor. I work for Carey Car and Company through Compass. That's just another avenue that I've recently dove back into, which we'll get into later. But like I said, boxing really gave me the discipline that I needed, and the consistency that I needed, and the structure that I needed. In order to box, you have to have your diet right. You have to have your sleep right. You need to keep other people that have the same ideas around you. There's just no room for error. It's a tough sport. It's not a game, and you can be killed. So I worked really hard. And like I said, after I couldn't fight, I had to reinvent myself and decide where I was going. And it was a long journey. I found myself in Florida for 10 years. And I got into some real estate, and then the market crashed in like 2007. So then I found myself into a new journey, which was bail bonds, and I created Just In Case bail bonds in 2013. I went on my own after learning the business inside and out. I worked for somebody else for some years, and then I learned the business and started my own company. And I've been an entrepreneur ever since. Since 2013, I've been working for myself. It's not easy being an entrepreneur, but just like boxing, sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. But the next day you get up and you train, or the next day you get up and you go to work and you figure it out and you keep on moving. So bail bonds took its course, and in 2011, I had my son, AJ Washington. He was born in Florida. And then when he was four, 3 or 4, 2014, I came back home to Ardmore, Norristown. Norristown's where I lived. Ardmore is where the gym was, that my father had a gym on 201 Simpson Road, which is still there, but it's not a gym anymore. It's now a yoga studio that my wife owns and operates. And I outgrew that space over the next 10 years, 11 years, moved up the street, and was able to put the first boxing ring in Ardmore that has ever existed. So I was able, people say to me, like, it's hard being an entrepreneur. How did you do these things? And I turn around and tell them, boxing taught me to do these things. Boxing taught me that there is no quit. There is no end. You just work, you keep working towards your goal. And if one door slams, then another door opens, or you find the side door, you go through the window. You just keep trucking, you keep punching, you keep kicking. So I'm sharing my talents of boxing with other people, other kids, other adults, because talent is beat by hard work, and I learned that through boxing as well. And what I found out and what I thought about and what I figured out was that the most important aspects of boxing that I take with me isn't the self-defense, isn't the fact that I'm confident as just a human being, but it's the fact that I learned so many tough, what's the word I want? Lessons. I learned so many lessons from boxing, from winning, from losing. And I realized that my father, when he taught me the arts, the reason that he instilled these things in me is to make me a stronger person. So I felt, it's important that I pass that favor to others. And what I learned over many years was that the talent of boxing wasn't what I was blessed with, but it was actually coaching and teaching that I am blessed to be talented in that area. So I'm able to share the lessons that I've learned, my ups, my downs, with other children that are in the area, in Ardmore and the surrounding suburbs, and even take those kids to the city and allow them to experience a different way of life and see a different way of life and compete against other people that are from different backgrounds and going through their different trials and tribulations. And it's a beautiful thing, because in the end you have two kids usually, but sometimes it can be grown folk that are standing in the middle of this ring and have put it all on the line from different stages, different places of life. But after it's all over, there's love, there's hugs, there's respect. And boxing just, displays what life really should look like. No matter what your hardships are, in the end, you should be able to overcome those things and put a smile on your face and put your arm around your opponent or your friend and say, you did a great job, and thank you for helping me to be successful, whether I won or lost, because it takes two people to fight, it takes two people to tango. So these are the lessons that I'm trying to share with the community, that I am sharing with the community. And like I said, I really try to tap into the youth. It's a young man's sport. But I have people from the age of 6 to people that are 70 that come through my gym, and I'm always able to give them something. They come here looking for something and they leave feeling better. So I'm always able to tap in and give them whatever it is that they're needing. Boxing is cheaper than therapy, I say. So that's where we're at. And again, this is Washington Boxing Academy that I've created, Washington Boxing Academy of Ardmore, because Washington Boxing Academy was my father's. So I'm Washington Boxing Academy of Ardmore now, and we're at 219 East Spring Avenue. And I'm just going to be sharing my journey and how I got here and what I'm doing with you with these podcasts. So I look forward to continuing this podcast and getting deep into some different subjects. And that's about it. So see you soon.